what do we do? And actually at that time I said, you need to listen to an episode I did with Daniel Priestley. But I also knew you were coming on, so I said, and I'm recording with him shortly, so make sure you listen to that. So through the lens of that 21-year-old, you've detailed that their world has now changed. They're living in this digital world. Where would you advise those two to start if they want to capitalize on the opportunity that's presented itself?
Okay, so I'll slow down for a minute. What's happening at the moment is people in that situation, they're feeling incredibly invisible, that they don't matter. They feel stuck, that there are no opportunities. You can't buy a house, you can't get a career, there are no safe jobs anymore, AI is disrupting everything, and they feel detached from meaning and purpose. And that leaves a whole generation of young people feeling absolutely wiped out before they've even started. It doesn't actually exclusively apply just to people in their 20s. I know people in their 40s, 50s, 60s. I know entrepreneurs who have traditional businesses who feel that way. So it's worth acknowledging that it's a widespread phenomenon everywhere in the world, people feeling invisible, feeling the pain of like not being able to connect with the right people, and feeling stuck and feeling detached from meaning. So what we need to do is address that because what's happening is you're playing by an old set of rules. And that's normal because the school system told you an old set of rules because it was based in the industrial age, and we have to start by learning the new set of rules. So if I was advising 21-year-olds in particular, the first thing that you want to do is called an entrepreneur apprenticeship. An entrepreneur apprenticeship is where you go and work in a small team of less than 12 people, where you have direct contact with an entrepreneur. And in particular, you're looking for an entrepreneur who has somewhat of a personal brand. So they have, let's say, 5,000 to 50,000 followers on social media, and they've got an elegant business model that inspires you. It doesn't necessarily have to be exactly what you want to do in the future, but you need to learn the new rules. So you need to learn how is that person building their personal brand and how are they building their business so that it can scale? How do they communicate with people anywhere in the world? How do they sell to people anywhere in the world? So those are some of the key things that you have to do. You do not want to become an entrepreneur straight away. It's too big a shift. You need to be a number two. I was a number two. I had a mentor. I worked for an amazing guy for 2 years. We went from 0 to 6 million in a year and from 0 people to 60 people in 1 year. So I got the entrepreneur apprenticeship first, and that's where you want to start. And then once you do that, you can do side hustles and then begin the entrepreneurial journey on your own.
But how do you know if it's for you? How do you know if you cut out for it?
So at the moment, what's happening is that the rules are changing so fast that it's not like anyone's cut out for it, right? So there is no sure feeling where you go, oh, I'm really cut out for this because it's giving me clear signals. During times of disruption, the signals get jammed. So what's happening is people are going through a schooling system that is preparing them for a world that no longer exists. So we go through 12 years of school, and it's saying, oh, here's how you get ready for an employer. Well, there are no employers. And here's how you get ready for a career. There's no such thing as careers anymore. And here's how you get ready for a job. Oh, by the way, that job can easily be done by AI already. So all of this is happening. And that means that people are feeling this void and they're saying, well, I don't feel ready for anything. That's because you had 12 years of training for a world that doesn't exist anymore. So what we have to do is say, all right, let's look at the world that is emerging, and let's position ourselves for that world and reskill ourselves and reposition ourselves for that world.
When you were talking about that entrepreneurial apprenticeship, it sounded like a new form of education, a new form of university. Are there any other ways, if we're talking about that preparation phase where you're getting ready, are there any other ways you would advise someone to rapidly excel their knowledge and skills in preparation to become an entrepreneur? Is it books? Do I sit on ChatGPT? What worked for you?
Books are great.
Yeah.
YouTube channels are great. I didn't have any of that. Believe it or not, even books were hard to come by when I was a teenager. You had to kind of order business books in, or you had to go to a big bookstore that had a business book section. We didn't have Amazon, and we certainly, anything like a podcast, you actually paid for cassette tapes and CDs, and they were $1,000. They were really expensive just to listen to some business content. Believe it or not, that was a thing. And all of it's for free now online. However, you can't learn to ride a bike through books and videos. You have to get on the bike. So the best thing to do is to work for someone who's building a business. And if you can't do that, become a co-founder with someone who's got more experience than you.